All right, let's do this. This is a brand new Flyers Daily for the 25th of September, 2024. Flyers Daily, as always, presented by Ticketmaster. Make more memories live. We've got not one, not two, but three sit-down conversations today in this episode from Flyers Training Camp 2024. We're going to hear from Jett Luchanko coming up in just a couple of minutes. Had a great debut game in his first preseason action, couple assists. We're also going to hear from Travis Sanheim. And I think Travis Sanheim has some really interesting things to say about the additional muscle that Jamie Drysdale put on. Look forward to that. And also one of the more cerebral conversations with Garnet Hathaway. I love talking to Garnet Hathaway. Incredibly intelligent guy, and a little bit kind of off the beaten path conversation with Garnet Hathaway. So look forward to all three. Real quick, before we get to our first one of the stories or one of the narratives online is that Jett Luchanko should make the Flyers this year, and Jett Luchanko, at a minimum, should get the 9 games and then be sent back to junior. And while I've been thoroughly impressed with Jett Luchanko going back to development camp, rookie games, and then obviously so far in training camp in this preseason game that he played, I think everybody needs to pump the brakes a little bit. He has performed very well. He's controlled what he can control. He hasn't played against a full NHL team just yet, and he certainly has not played a schedule in his lifetime like the one that the Flyers will play this season with 82 games against the best players in the world, the biggest, fastest, strongest guys in the world. So I still think it's beneficial for him to go back to Guelph and play there, play in every situation, develop further. He's a guy that turned 18 just a month ago. I don't see the upside in forcing him into the NHL right now. It's an incredibly rare player to me that makes the NHL right in their draft year. It's the guys, the top of the top guys, like Austin Matthews or Connor McDavid or Jack Eichel. Nolan Patrick did. Clearly, I think he should have went to Brandon for another year. But it is incredibly rare. Sean Couturier did come right from his draft year from Drummondville in his draft year to the Flyers. But I don't know that that's the best path for Jett Luchanko. I don't believe that it is. And I know that he's looked good in what we've seen so far, but what we've seen so far is diet NHL hockey. So I think we just need to pump the brakes a little bit on that. It's okay to be excited about the player, no doubt about it. And if they kept him for a couple of games in the NHL to send him back with that experience, I could probably be talked into that, provided he performs well the remainder of camp and throughout the preseason. And look, I'd like to see what he's like against a team that has got a lot of NHL regulars in it. They've got 12 skaters of 18 that are NHL regulars, and how he performs in that situation. Those are all things I'd have to consider. But we'll see where it goes with Jett Luchanko. Flyers did assign Carson Bjarnason back to Brandon, oddly enough. I thought he had a really good preseason rookie camp, played well in the rookie games, played well in his appearance in an NHL preseason game. So I think real good camp and real good development for Carson Bjarnason. And the thing about Bjarnason is I look at where Bjarnason was at this time last year and where he is now. To me, he looks much more positionally sound as a goalie, not overplaying shots against and threats and those kind of things. Much more under control. And he's got good size, so he should stay under control. He can use that to his advantage. His play reading was much better. I thought his depth was a lot better, and how he managed his depth in his crease. Year to year, I think he showed really well. Great development year for him. One of the other things, too, that you notice when you see him off the ice is that he shed a lot of the, not baby fat, but he put on some muscle, and he's leaning out as well. And I thought he looked more explosive in the way he moves as a result of that. It's a big year for him. He's got opportunity in front of him. Maybe playing on Team Canada's World Junior team. Maybe the starter. So real good camp from Carson Bjarnason. And he's a great guy to have around, too. He's so wide-eyed and just loves it. Such a positive presence around the rink. And thought he had a real good camp. So let's get to our first interview, though. It is with Flyers center, the aforementioned Jett Luchanko. We sat down on Friday after the Flyers practice, before his first game in the preseason. And here's my conversation with Flyers first-round pick, Jett Luchanko. At Flyers training camp, and we are joined by Flyers first-round pick, Jett Luchanko. How's it been going? It's been chaotic, I'm sure, but I'm sure a lot of fun, too.
Yeah, very chaotic. Obviously, new experience for me, so it's pretty cool to kind of be here in this facility and around all these guys. So it's been fun so far, and I'm excited to keep going.
Right away, rookie camp starts. It's 1 day of practice, and hey, 2 games. Let's go. Get right out there playing, which is always better because you like playing the game. What was it like getting into games right away and putting the actual uniform on for the first time?
Yeah, it was definitely a cool moment to be able to put the uniform on, something I've been looking forward to. And yeah, I think it's a good kind of way to get going, is to play a couple games, even though it might not be as structured as, only with one practice. So I think it'll be nice to kind of get going and build off that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a free-for-all hockey. Like Lappy says, he goes, I'm not saying, hey, we're going to run a 2-1-2 here, a 1-2-2. It's go out there and just play. You guys know what to do. And you're playing a lot with Michkov, and you guys seem to have developed some good chemistry together on the ice. What goes into that good chemistry?
I think he's a player that's easy to play with, and hopefully I'm the same way. But he's just, he's everywhere on the ice. He's open for you. He makes really good plays and not many mistakes. So for me, it's just easy to play with him.
Sometimes really skilled players are difficult to play with because you just don't know what they're going to do. And he seems like a guy that thinks he can score from anywhere. I think he had, in the rookie game, 3 scoring opportunities from behind the net, and he scored on the one. Your speed was very evident in the rookie games and is just as evident in this camp. What's it been like to get up against actual NHL players?
Yeah, it's probably the coolest part of all this, is to kind of just be around them on the ice and off the ice, kind of see how they go about their business and, see what kind of things I can learn from that. So it's definitely really cool to kind of be able to battle against them and just see them around.
Are you one of those guys that's very conscious and aware of how guys are doing things, handling drills or just all elements, and kind of watching that and going, oh, okay, that guy does it this way, and are you taking all that in?
Yeah, I think I've definitely tried to look around more and watch these guys. As there's definitely lots I can learn from them, and yeah, it's cool to see the way they practice and how hard they go and how little mistakes they make.
Preseason games, are going to be underway, and you're going to get that opportunity. What is your mental approach, coming into this camp? Learn as much as you can, perform as best you can. Is it as simple as that?
Yeah, I would say so. Kind of just my mentality has kind of just always been come in every day, work my hardest, and kind of see what happens from that. I think good things come from that if you kind of just can come in every day and try your hardest, work your hardest, try and learn as much as you can.
Kind of control what you can control. How was the skate? The rope test, you've heard about it. There's a lot of lore about it. A lot of players down there like to take that rope and burn it. How was it for you?
Yeah, it was pretty tough. There's definitely it's just as mental as it is as physical, especially with all the talk you hear about before and all the guys kind of getting you prepared for
a lot of build-up and mental anxiety with that.
A lot of build-up for sure, which makes it even tougher, especially even just the nerves before. But yeah, it was tough, but everyone's kind of got to battle through it, and I think it only makes us better.
Jett, good luck the rest of the camp, man. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate it, and we'll be watching you in preseason.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to Jett Luchanko. Just very mature beyond his years already. He's not the most outgoing guy yet. He may become that. We'll see. But very measured, and it just seems to carry himself not like an 18-year-old. Sometimes when we see 18-year-olds come in and new drafted players, you can feel their lack of maturity. With Jett Luchanko, it's the opposite. I feel his, beyond his years, maturity on and off the ice. So thanks to Jett for joining us. Let's get to Travis Sanheim, because Travis Sanheim is a guy that there was so much noise around him last offseason. He was traded, he wasn't traded, Torrey Krug, all that. This was a different offseason for him, got married. He's a leader on this team now. So let's hear from Flyers defenseman Travis Sanheim. We're at Flyers training camp, and we're with Flyers defenseman Travis Sanheim. How are you? How was the summer?
Good, yeah, really good. Obviously, got back home, get to see the family and friends, and I ended up getting married as well, so enjoyed my off season, but ready to get going. Excited to be back.
Congratulations on the nuptials. Was the wedding, great time and honeymoon after?
No honeymoon after. We did the wedding in August, so a couple weeks later I was right back here. So wanted to keep training and skating, so we'll figure that out down the road, I guess. But no, it was really good. We had a lot of fun. Had a few of the boys out, so it's always tough getting them to Manitoba, but a few of them made the trip.
You and I have talked about getting back home and getting, for lack of a better term, finding your center, just getting grounded back on the farm again. That just always delivers for you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Really simple.
Yeah, for sure. And even just where I'm at in Brandon with my off-season training and skating, and there's not a lot going on. Just to get back, kind of relax, get away from the environment a little bit, and clear your head. And like I said, see some family and friends is always awesome, and just puts you in a good mindset coming into the year. And I'm excited to get going.
Sandy, a lot less noise around your name this off season too. That has to be a lot better for you.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, excited with what went on last season with the group and myself personally, and yeah, it's obviously a lot easier when your name's not in the rumors, and it's in saying that I got to have another good year this year, and looking forward to what the step that we can take, not only myself but as a group. I think there's a lot more to give here. Guys are getting better each and every day and game, and it's an exciting time to be a Flyers fan.
I've seen you through your career and the development of you physically, putting on muscle onto your frame, because you need to add a lot of that when you first came in. You were very lean. And I see Jamie Drysdale come in this year, was at a playing weight of 178 last year. He's at 196 now. You can tell the work was put in. Is that part of the culture, and almost everybody kind of buying into that, so everybody's going to keep up and push themselves?
Yeah, exactly. I think Torts just kind of set the standard as to what is necessary for each and every guy, and guys have put in the work at all areas, and whether it's on ice or off ice, and depending on what you need to work on, and it's going to help them a lot. I noticed a lot when you're leaning on guys, when you got to battle one-on-ones, whether it's going in a corner to win a puck battle or net front trying to pick up sticks and pick up bodies. That extra weight just helps you kind of get body position and keep body position, and it's huge as a defenseman, especially in this league with who we're going up against. So I think he's going to notice a big change. I definitely did, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do this year.
How much of that is also mental, knowing you had the added weight and strength and going into board battles?
Yeah, and that's the confidence of doing it, right? Sometimes you're going in and you're hoping that you're going to come out with it, not necessarily knowing, because you're physically you're not sure, and when you have that strength, you're almost going in there knowing you're coming out with it, and they're not going to take the puck away. So it's going to be he's obviously going to probably have to learn how to use it in certain situations and get used to playing with it. But once he understands it and can use it properly, it's an effective tool.
What's the adjustment like from a skating standpoint, weight transfer? And you guys obviously as defenders are a bit reactionary to, especially to oncoming rush attempts and those kind of things, getting used to the balance of carrying more.
Yeah, for me it was honestly it just improved my skating. It made it more powerful. It felt like my strides were more powerful, and that I could get up the ice easier and close on guys quicker, and it wasn't too hard to adjust for me with the added weight, and I'm sure he's going to notice the same. It just feels like you're in shape, you're ready to go. You got the confidence of having that good summer behind you, and now you're focusing on what your abilities can do on the ice.
You played with Cam York pretty much the entire season last year. It looks like you guys will likely be partnered again. I'm not setting the lineup or anything, but to come in knowing you played with a guy so many minutes last year, you guys were horses for this team, and knowing who he is as a player, there's a comfort in that. Looking forward to getting back out with Cam and really developing that chemistry all over again.
Yeah, he surprised me last year with the step that he took. Obviously he was a key part for us in that back end and why we were so successful. The minutes that he played, and in all areas, his stick's so good defensively. He's in good position. The plays that he's able to make with the puck, he's a pretty easy guy to play with, and we worked well together last year. Played a lot together. I'm excited about this year again. I think we're both in the same situation where we're wanting to continue to get better. We want to keep improving and take another step in the right direction, and it's exciting.
The way he handled rush, plays off the rush in particular, just always balanced. Let me ask you, you were camp today, place was packed. There's a buzz around this team. A good portion of it comes from what you guys did last year, but also the addition of Matvei Michkov. What have you seen out of Matvei so far? Yeah,
just his ability to see the ice and make the plays that only select few in this league can make. He sees it at a different level. He's always looking to make plays. Even in as a defenseman, you think you have him, you think he has no options, and somehow he slides it through your stick or through your feet, or sees a guy coming in late. And those are just those are things that are hard to teach. You either have it or you don't, and obviously there's going to be probably struggles at time throughout the year, whether it's different areas, defensively or positioning or being a smaller guy. But once he figures all that out, the ability that he has with the puck is next level, and I'm excited to play with him because I'm a guy that likes to get up and be that second wave, and I can just see him being able to find guys coming in and giving you those opportunities. So it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to playing with him.
One of the areas he likes to work is down low, below the goal line. For a defenseman, that creates some problems because you have your back when you're defending a guy like that. Talk about kind of when a guy is really good at puck protection like he is down low like that, the challenges it provides, it lends to the defenseman trying to make sure everybody's covered when you're facing away from the middle of the ice.
Yeah, it's just it's so hard because you're trying to close areas, you're trying to not allow him to make those plays coming out of those corners, and yet your back's to the inside and he's facing the inside and has the ability to see those options, and so it's so hard when a guy can make the play through a couple sticks or a couple bodies, and it's just hard to defend that. And like I said, he's got that ability, and I'm sure we're going to see it lots this year.
That's where you depend on that structure behind you as well. Yeah. Travis, thanks for doing this. Have a great season.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
One of the things Travis Sanheim went through that's similar to Jamie Drysdale is had to put muscle on, and the confidence that adding the strength and muscle does to a player in board battles, and how they go in there mentally into those board battles, knowing they have more strength, I think is a big element. You go in with a resoluteness. You don't go in with a little bit of an inferiority. Travis Sanheim did that. Jamie Drysdale put on 18 pounds of muscle this offseason, so we'll see how that pays off for Drysdale. He's looked good in camp as well so far. One of my favorite guys to talk to when it's not the urgency of a game just ended or something like that, when we can kind of stretch our legs a little bit, is the Brown University-educated Garnet Hathaway. And we had a lot of fun in this conversation as well. Very philosophical, very humanizing conversation. So here's my conversation with Flyers forward Garnet Hathaway. We are live from Flyers training camp. I'm very happy to be joined by Flyers forward Garnet Hathaway. How was the summer?
It's good. Yeah, it was really good.
What'd you do to decompress? What does Garney do to decompress?
I have two kids, so
you don't decompress.
I don't decompress. Yeah, if anyone with kids understands that there's no time out. No, it was we traveled a bit, just spending time with my kids when I don't usually have, and having that family time without long road trips mixed in between. So a little less bringing my kid to the rink, but a little more bringing my kids to the beach.
Is it hard to be present in family time right when a season ends? Do you chew on it for a little bit and have to kind of pull it all out and move on?
Yeah, it's just such a different structure to your day, right? In season, I don't know the days of the week. I know if it's a practice, a game day, or an off day. So when the summer comes, instantly my kids are still in school for a little bit. So I start learning the days of the week again, and then you start just transitioning on having weekends, or when training starts, it's Monday through Friday. So you have the weekends.
So Mondays start to suck. Fridays are great.
I my wife tells me when I start having the real 9 to 5. But it's nice because then you come home and you're home at night every night.
Do you have a hard time dealing with the lack of structure of a pro athlete in the off season? Because, like you said, during the season, it's I got to be at the rink this time. We're going to get on a plane. We're going to travel. We're going to do that. Everything's laid out. Yeah. In the summer, it's open.
I think before kids, maybe, right? That unstructuredness kind of leads to contemplating what to do. You're kind of thinking about, I don't know, with this downtime. And now it's been, more, okay, well, I have to structure my time because either the kids have this or this is my personal time or my wife and I's time to spend time together. And so you start structuring your own things. And I think I've just gotten better at that with her help too on, how to do that myself rather than take it from the team's agenda.
I've said to my wife that I'd kill to be bored, but you have kids. My son's going to be 18. I haven't been bored in 18 years. I don't have time to be bored.
I don't know what I did with the time before.
So whatever now, you wanted.
Yeah. So now when I have it, it kind of blows my mind a little bit. But yeah, that's one of the things you don't know till you know.
How was the training? Did you change anything in your preparation? You were here last year. You went through the skate last year. You went through it again this year. But as you get older, you train smarter too. Any changes to your preparation?
I stayed here this summer. I trained with the guys here. It was nice to train with guys who I played with last season, have a familiarity with Dan and the weight, like the strength coaches down there, and then also having our medical staff. They put in so many hours. Our equipment staff put in so many hours here to help us have a situation to succeed. So it was a little different. I won't get into the absolute details, but this is a time when last year I was moving. I was, I signed. I didn't, I was kind of bouncing between gyms. This year I had a staff that worked all year with me that then I got to see all summer too. So I was really lucky for that.
And that's the cool thing. You signed another contract, so you're here this season plus 2 more. We've talked about it. Now you can put some roots down and kind of have that predictability and remove the, hey, I just signed here, moving. That's got to be freeing.
I would love to say it is, but it is in a sense. And I think I think Seals has kind of mentioned this too. It's for a guy who with his path. I think me and him have pretty similar mentalities about it, where this league does not care.
They take nothing for granted.
You can't. I think you need to be grateful, but you can't take things for granted. So I'm starting to work into being a little more present. Obviously, I'm not in my rookie year, right? I've been here for a bit, but trying to understand. Every day is you got to be grateful for it, and you have to know that you can't take it for granted, and you can't take a contract for granted. You can't take guys coming in to take your job for granted, right? It happens, and I've seen it happen. Every guy here is taking someone else's job at one point or another. So I think it's just trying to figure out that, hey, how do I keep mentally stable and try and get better each day in order to fulfill that contract to the team and also enjoy it too. And I think that's what when you get a good locker room like this and the work ethic around those guys, it's fun to come to work.
It's probably important to realize what you had to do to get here and to continue to do that to stay.
Yeah, I think that's
because it's a lot of hard work.
The biggest, right? It's to stay in this league, and that's trying to be really good at what you're good at, and then try and grow your game and maybe find ways that you're better than other people, and that's in sense, right? That's why are you still here? Keep getting better at that. Yeah, it's a tough league to get into, and it's really tough to stay in.
The funny thing is, so many times growing up playing sports, and as a coach myself, I would say that the players are here from a coach. Be willing to do what the others are not willing to do. You don't have to be asked a lot of times. We saw that about you last year. You know who you are as a player. When did that come into play that you go, okay, I know what I am, I know what I need to be, and I'm going to be it?
It's tough. I would love to give you an exact date. I would love to say I know exactly today what I am. I think
but you're evolving too, right?
I thanks. But I also think in the summer for me personally, right, I spend time with my kids. Like I go to the beach. I don't think I'm the person on the ice that I am off the ice. And I know that I can't flip a switch on October 13th or, you know what I mean? Or what, whenever it is that, hey, you have to play this exact role. You have to be this. So, I think over the course of my career, I figured out how to know what I need to do and what's expected of me, in order to play my role successfully and then help the team.
There's a process you have to go through.
Yeah.
Like I watch Hunter McDonald. I see him around here, and he's the nicest young guy in the world. He's out there. He's just a mean SOB.
Yeah, and it's man. We've had a couple of conversations. Like he's learning, and he wants to learn, and I would love to be able to tell him, hey, this will be your path. A lot of it's going to be on what he figures out himself, and others will be a collective group trying to help him. Say, hey, maybe try this. This is what I do. And he's asked me a bunch of questions already. And so I'm excited for him. He's at the beginning of the journey, and he wants to learn, so it's exciting.
It's fun to see guys go through where you were before with the same insecurities and questions and how's this going to play. You don't have all the answers. They come in time.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the process, right? That's the journey that each guy has. And no guy, you got the roster in front of you, no guy had the same journey. No guy's learned what they've gone through, whether it's getting called up, sent down, injuries, what has it, right? You learn from everything, and it's kind of the mentality you take with those adversities on how you're going to get better.
Last question for you. How excited are you to get back at it? You didn't like the way last season ended. I remember we talked. None of the players did. It was so sudden and was full stop. How excited are you get back at it and go, let's learn from that and move forward and do the right things and avoid it?
Yeah, and I can't wait. And I'm excited I'm really excited to get that locker room together.
Good group.
Yeah, it's a really good group, and you get guys who are competing against each other right now in those scrimmages. That it's tough. Those are tough scrimmages. They're tough camps, the battle drills. Like it's a little chaos, right? It's kind of crazy, and we haven't had time to decompress that. And there will be time to get that group together and say, hey, now that's over. We're on the same team now. Let's go. And the best part about this group is I don't think you have to specifically say, this is the time to go. Like everyone wants to do it, and that's from the leadership down.
A lot of pros in there. Garnet, thanks for doing this. Great to see you back.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks.
Special thanks to Garnet Hathaway for taking the time once again to join us here on Flyers Daily. So there you go. Garnet Hathaway, Travis Sanheim, and Jett Luchanko. That is a Boffo episode. We'll have another one coming up on Friday. We're at camp today. Flyers preseason game coming up tomorrow night. Preseason continues. It'll be the home preseason opener against the Isles. So we will join you Friday then to recap that game, and also we'll give you some more player interviews as well. Everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you Friday on a brand new Flyers Daily.